Conversation 29. Packing.
Hello, Robert.
Hello, you two. I've brought the car round. We can start packing right away.
Everything's waiting for you in the hall.
Good. You two can be bringing the things out while I put them away in the boot.
Here's the first item, our tent.
And here's our spirit cooker.
You won't be needing that. I've already packed mine. We'll be wanting a kettle, though. Have you got one?
Jim's just bringing it. Oh, look out, Jim. You nearly dropped the spit.
The spit?
Is this thing a spit? I wondered what it was for.
It's a special clockwork spit to roast meat or potatoes on. Nice gadget, isn't it? I saw it in Brummage's yesterday and couldn't resist buying it.
But Maggie, we won't be cooking elaborate meals on our trip. It'll probably be quicker to eat in a restaurant than to start shopping for food in a strange language.
All the same, I think we should take it. After the first week, you'll be longing for a nice grilled chop.
And what's this strange contraption?
Oh, that's a special cooler to keep butter in. I think it's so unpleasant to eat runny butter, don't you?
Well, but does it have to be so large? We'll be running out of space soon to put things in.
And what's more, we'll be spending all our time loading and unloading the car. We should keep things down to a minimum.
You'd be the first to grumble if your butter was rancid. Here you are. I'll put the cooker in this bucket. That'll save some room.
What do we need a bucket for?
We've got to have something to keep water in, haven't we?
We can use the kettle. Look here. Is this object another one of your gadgets?
Yes, that's a foot pump to pump our rubber mattresses up with. It'll save us a great deal of trouble.
Oh, well, maybe that's not such a bad idea. But what's Jim bringing out now?
That's our collapsible card table. I thought we ought to have a proper table to eat off.
Now this I really draw the line at, Maggie. You'll be asking me to pack a couple of beds and a gas stove next.
What are you doing, Jim?
Robert's quite right, Maggie. I'm going to take this table and the bucket and butter cooler right back to where they came from.
We'll let you keep your spit as a special concession.
All I can say is you'll be wishing we'd brought the table when you have ants crawling all over your food.
Is this thing a spit? I wondered what it was for.
It's a special spit to roast meat on. That's a special cooler to keep butter in.
What do we need a bucket for?
We've got to have something to keep water in. That's a foot pump to pump our rubber mattresses up with. We ought to have a proper table to eat off.
Now this I really draw the line at. I'm going to take this table back to where it came from. Conversation 30. At the frontier.
Well, here we are at last. What does that notice say?
We welcome you to Poland. Car drivers and passengers are advised to proceed to the customs clearance point, which is 300 meters ahead.
Good thing there isn't much traffic about yet. We'll get through the customs pretty quickly, I expect.
We wouldn't have if we'd stopped for a second breakfast, which all of you wanted to do.
Here we are. This seems to be the customs shed.
I can't help feeling nervous. We've brought so much stuff.
Don't worry so, Maggie.
Yes, but look here. Between us, we've got a portable radio, 3 cameras, a typewriter, and a tape recorder. And most of them brand new, which is bound to make them suspicious.
It says something about that here, Maggie. Cameras, typewriters, and portable radios, which are dutiable, must be entered on the customs declaration form.
Where do we get hold of that?
There's another notice about that over there. Customs declarations forms, which must be completed in triplicate, are available at counter number 3. Here you are. Let's start filling them in while we're waiting. The queue's quite short.
Will Mr. E. Simpson, who is driving a blue Austin with a British registration, please report at the main office?
I wonder what that can be about.
Oh, dear. Suppose we've done something illegal. Suppose they turn us back.
Why should they? If we weren't allowed to bring in cameras and typewriters, we'd have been told about it earlier, when we got our visas at the Polish consulate.
But what can they possibly want Robert for?
He'll tell us himself. He's just coming back.
Well, what was it?
They wanted me to shift the car. It was in the way. That was all.
You see, Maggie? Look, it's our turn. Got the forms ready?
Good morning. May I see your declaration forms? Thank you. Are you just traveling through Poland, or will you be staying for some time?
We're going on to Moscow, but we're going to stay in Warsaw for 3 or 4 days.
Would you open these 2 large suitcases, please? Thank you. Of course, you'll have to bring the typewriter, cameras, and radio out again, so don't lose this form. Thank you, that's all.
Is that really all?
Yes, that's all. I hope you enjoy your visit to Poland. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Thank you
Thank
very
you very
much.
much.
Well, here we are at last. We'll get through the customs pretty quickly, I expect.
This seems to be the customs shed. The queue is quite short.
May I see your declaration forms?
Are you just travelling through Poland?
Or will you be staying for some time?
We're going to stay in Warsaw for 3 or 4 days.
Would you open these 2 large suitcases, please?
Thank you. That's all.
I hope you enjoy your visit to Poland. Conversation 31. In the park.
What a pleasant park. The very place we were looking for.
Yes. Let's sit down on the grass for a while.
I'm afraid you can't do that. There's a notice there which says, keep off the grass.
Well, we'll find a bench then. Look, this one'll do.
There's a very good view from here. Look, Barbara. Is that the palace your Prime Minister lives in?
No, that is a palace that was built by the last Polish king.
That must be the one whose statue we saw as we came in.
That was his brother. The palace is a museum now. I'll take you there later. First, I must show you the open-air theatre on the lake.
Is that the theatre you were telling us about this morning?
Yes, it's where you see that wall.
I like it here. It's so pleasant and restful. Our London parks are larger, but this one has more variety. How sorry I am for Jim and Maggie.
Why? Aren't they enjoying their visit to Warsaw?
Oh, yes, but an old friend they ran into this morning insisted on taking them to the National Museum.
Well, I don't want to miss that either. They have several paintings there I want to see.
We should have gone there the day we arrived when it rained. In lovely summer weather like this, it's nicer to sit by a lake.
Well, I think we'd better see the rest of the park now. It's getting late.
Oh, Robert, you've got a black streak all up your arm. The tree you were leaning against must have been dirty.
I'll go and wash it off. There seems to be a public lavatory over there.
I do like these black swans, Barbara. In St. James's Park, we only have white ones.
But I remember seeing lots of wild duck there.
Isn't that Robert coming back already? Why, you've been very quick, Robert. Did you find the right place?
Well, it couldn't have been. You told me pan means mister, didn't you? So when I saw a door that had dla pan written above it, I naturally tried to go in. But the old crone who was sitting outside wouldn't let me. She kept waving her arms and shouting something that sounded like nie tu, nie tu.
Oh dear, Robert, you made a mistake. Dla pań means for ladies. You should have gone into the one marked dla panów.
Well, really, what a language.
The very place we were looking for.
Is that the palace your Prime Minister lives in?
No, that's a palace that was built by the last Polish king.
Is that the theatre you were telling us about this morning?
Yes, it's where you see that wall.
I like it here.
I think I'd better show you the rest of the park now.
Oh, Robert, the tree you were leaning against must have been dirty.
You can go and wash yourself if you like.
There's a public lavatory over there. Conversation 32. The lost tin opener.
Oh, there you are, at last, Maggie. We're absolutely starving. I hope you've bought a lot of food.
Luckily, I found a self-service store. It saved me having to ask for things in Polish. Here you are. 2 tins of herring and tomato sauce, 1 tin of stuffed paprikas, and a tin of wild boar.
Wild boar? How exciting. Are we going to have that for lunch?
Oh, Maggie, you might have brought us back some nice tame pork chops instead of wild boar.
Don't be ungrateful, Robert. It would have been much more difficult to explain what I wanted in a butcher's shop. Tomorrow we'll ask Barbara to go shopping with us. Now, pass me the tin opener, and I'll make some wild boar stew.
Where did you pack the tin opener? It isn't with the cutlery.
I may have put it in with the cooker.
No, it isn't in with the cooker either. You must have forgotten to take one.
No, I can't possibly have forgotten the tin opener. It's always the first thing I think of when I'm packing. I must have put it in some very safe place. Only now I can't remember where.
It might have fallen out and got lost on the way.
Oh, Lord, you women. Can't you ever be methodical? Now think hard, Maggie. Where could you have put it?
I might have put it in the glove compartment of the car. But no, that's not very likely. Or I might have put it with the first aid kit. No, that's not very likely either.
Don't tell us where you might have put it. Tell us where you did put it.
We should have brought a spare one. There's always trouble over tin openers.
Now, let me think where else I could have put it. I know. I may have put it together with the tent pegs. That's quite possible.
No, I would have noticed it when I put up the tents. Maggie, I'm starving. Please think of something soon.
I know. I remember Jim using it this morning to open a bottle of orangeade. He must have pocketed it by mistake. He's always doing things like that.
Where is Jim, by the way?
He's gone into town to change some traveller's checks. I don't suppose he'll be back for some time.
Well, there's nothing for it, Maggie. As the linguist of the party, you'll have to go and buy another tin opener. Let's see what it is in Polish. Here you are. Klucz do konserw. Proszę, klucz do konserw. It couldn't be easier.
We'll have bread and cheese for lunch. I refuse to do any more shopping, and that's my last word.
You might have brought us some pork chops, Maggie.
It would have been much more difficult to explain what I wanted.
Where did you pack the tin opener?
I may have put it in with the cooker.
You must have forgotten to take one.
I can't possibly have forgotten the tin opener. I must have put it in some very safe place.
It might have fallen out and got lost. Where could you have put it, Maggie?
I might have put it in with the first aid kit.